simply let be. But I don't close the door, waiting a chance for when we'll be back again. You make me feel so crazy, still in love with you. You make me feel amazing when I'm next to you. You make me feel so crazy, my heart breaks for you. Can't help but know that I'm still in love with you. You make me feel so. When there's no hope, loving for you who saw me before I knew who I'd be. What I have around me means nothing to me if I can't share it with you. Walking through all the dust, memories and frame, a past we simply let fade. But I don't close the door, waiting a chance for when we'll be back again. You make me feel so crazy, still in love with you.
Hey everybody, welcome to Red Lipstick Reality TV. It's your girl Anna. Welcome Red Lipstick Club. Welcome everybody. I need to get to my comments so I can see who's here. Hi Jada, welcome. Welcome everyone. I'm excited to chat. Hopefully a few of you are free to jump on. I try to do it at a good time. But excited to see you all here. We can't wait. I got to talk about Meri. This is crazy. Hopefully you guys are excited to talk about Meri and some other stuff. And I've been watching some of these interviews that have been coming out recently with Janelle, Christine, even a little bit with Meri, but interesting. Hi, Cindy. So excited. I haven't been able to make up. I'm glad that you're able to join too. Welcome. I'll pop your guys' message. Here's Jada's too. Hi, Jada. Yeah, you guys. So have a good time in the chat. I always just say just respect each other, but have a great time. I know a lot of us have been watching the show recently. We just finished, what was that, episode 9 of the show. It's going kind of fast, to be honest with you. I did not expect, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but I feel like it's going really fast. The content, some episodes, I feel like we're getting great content. Some other episodes, it's a lot of filler. I hate to say it, but most of the Christine and David courting stuff is filler for me. And if you watched my video from this week where I reviewed episode 9, I kind of spoke to that, how it feels like I'm watching a prequel that I didn't ask for. Like I've officially figured out I do not like prequels to reality TV. I like prequels to movies, stuff like that, but prequels, in my opinion, do not work for reality TV, and it feels like we're watching the prequel, and I don't like it, so I want to give it back. You guys let me know. What are you thinking so far? How do you feel so far watching all of this David and Christine courting material? It's suspicious to me. Not suspicious. I'm just not that interested in it. But I'm curious as to how you all feel. But this episode, not this episode, but for this live, I wanted to talk about Meri, and Meri's marriage, both her legal and spiritual one, and just some of the things that we saw at the end of, well, I guess technically season back where Christine left, and then what we've been seeing now for this new season. It's not that deep. Hey, it's not that deep. It's exhausting. Honestly, I'm sick of seeing Christine tonguing down. Listen, okay. I think we all know what it feels like to be giddy and in like love and excited about somebody, right? Like I think we've all been there. But it's like overkill for me. And I'm like, are you doing this because you know Kody watches the show and he'll see this? I mean, I know you're really like, it's like she's like a 16-year-old or something. I don't know. It's like it's overkill. Like the whole open mouth kissing stuff is doing the most for me. Hi, Lisa. Great to see you live. I can't chat a whole lot as I have a boo-boo on my thumb. Oh, that's the worst. It's hard to type. I'm not interested in the C and D chats. Okay, so it's not just me. I thought I was just being like angry or grumpy about it because I'm single, but I don't care. I wish I cared. I don't care. Hi, Brittany. Hello. Brittany, not. Oh, I love how it's Brittany, not Brittany. That's like so fun to me. I don't care about seeing it. I don't need to hear it. Yeah, it's okay. So I'm not the only one just kind of over this. And just like Lisa says, like, yeah, I think David is clearly a great person. I think that's pretty evident. And I don't think that truly would seem as comfortable with him if he wasn't. So Christine happened to luck out and got somebody that actually is a decent person, and he seems very, very likable and really easy to get along with. That is something that I did recognize about him pretty quickly, and he seemed very easygoing. So that's a bonus. So this has nothing personal to do with actually either one of them. I'm just over it. And once we saw the wedding, I thought this was done, so it's like it's not done yet. I am though excited to see that next week it looks like they kind of skip along, and they're at the point where they've already bought a house. That's good. That means that this season is going to really start moving forward. But beyond that, you guys, I got to talk about Meri. So Meri in this, I got to put this up too. Let me see something here. I got to see if I can add this here. No, we're not going to do that. That's doing too much. But so Meri, was it last season, y'all? Maybe it was this. Was it last season or the season before? No, it was last season. It was the knife in the kidney season where Meri sat on that porch and side-eyed Christine, did not go to Christine and say, hey, I'm sorry, like just basically treated her terrible, and then went to console Robin. And I'm curious as to what you guys think. Her need to get love and approval from Kody and to be in his good graces, to me, it's been on full display watching Christine leave the family, and also when she did the legal divorce. And I was watching Janelle on, oh God, what's the name of that show? What's her name? She used to be on Chelsea Handler's show with her. It's like a reality gossip show, but she was interviewing Janelle. If you haven't seen that, if somebody knows what I'm talking about and can put the link to that interview in the chat, that'd be awesome. But I watched that interview earlier today, and she was asking Janelle about Meri doing the legal divorce and how they all felt about it. And I still feel like Janelle dances around the legal divorce. I think even remember when they first talked about it, and she had like that stone look on her face when she found out that Meri was getting a divorce. And then she met with Kody after and said, hey, I feel like this is going to change things. And Kody basically lied to her and told her, no, nothing's going to change. Everything's going to be the same. It's going to be fine. Yes, Danny, Heather McDonald. That's exactly who it is. So when that happened, I remember I made a TikTok and like a reel about that, because I said, y'all, Janelle saw it then. And then when she's getting interviewed by Heather McDonald, she basically tries to act like she wasn't as concerned as she really was. She says in the Heather McDonald interview, "Well, yeah, I went to the side with Kody and asked him if it was going to change anything between us." But when you go back to watch that episode, y'all, that was not a casual okey doke response that Janelle had to that. And so I even feel like for her, she is also rewriting history on what that divorce really meant. Like she kind of acknowledges it in this interview with Heather McDonald, but she doesn't fully acknowledge her reaction to what was going on. So I don't know. But I've just watching how Meri's been acting when it comes to the marriages, that situation, then moving to the knife in the kidney moment where she basically played her. And then now we're fast forwarding after she acted all giddy like a schoolgirl with Kody, slipping and sliding on the ice when he was helping move that furniture out the house. Now we fast forward to Janelle trying to do her a solid and say, "Hey, girl, you might want to tap in," because clearly Meri's been tapped out for a while. "You might want to tap in and see what's going on with your land because this stuff's not paid off." This is not paid off. Let me say hi to everybody really quick. Hi, Danny. Hi, Megan. What did Megan say? "I'm so disappointed with how Meri and Janelle portion went, but we clearly see why they don't mess with each other." And if you guys have been watching my videos, okay, you know, a couple videos back, I said, well, why can't Janelle and Meri like sit down, figure it out, get it together? It has been pretty evident to me that Meri is only a girl's girl when it benefits her. When it doesn't benefit her, Meri is not a girl's girl. Janelle, on the other hand, even though they kind of make her out to kind of seem like backstabbing because she was with Meri's brother and then got with Kody. Okay. It's interesting too, because she did say that marriage was already done by the time she even met Kody. So I'm wondering if Meri's brother was a lot older. Anywho, I just feel like Janelle was here trying to have a girl's girl moment to let Meri know, because she could have just dealt with Kody on her own, right? And say, "Kody, you paid off, give me mine and keep it rolling." But I think her whole point was not just that Meri would get a small portion of the land, but that she would get a full 1/4 of this land. And she was trying to be a girl's girl about it. And Meri was the obliviousness when, first off, when Meri goes to her and says, "I thought that you were in charge of the finances." Like, what's going on with that, y'all? Why is she so oblivious? Why why is she so tapped out? And is this because her whole estate is not wrapped up into this the way that Janelle's is? Because you know, Janelle doesn't have anything else. She doesn't have a home that she's purchased. She doesn't have anything in a nest egg, because keep in mind she cashed out that 401k to pay off Robin's debt, right? Meri, on the other hand, actually made a good financial move investing into her family's home. Now she's got a business and she's got a home and property in her name. And she's also built a successful clothing business when she had all that time on her hands, because she had no kids there and Kody wasn't messing with her. She built a business during that time period. So I'm wondering if that's why Meri feels so aloof when it comes to this situation, is because her whole nest egg is not wrapped up into this property in the same way that Janelle's is. I feel like that's what it is. It's not that I think if Meri lost her portion of the land, it wouldn't be as much of a blow to her financially since she has her own stuff. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking because she was already invested in her was it Lizzie's cottage? I don't know what she calls it. Anywho, I feel like because she's so invested in that, she doesn't have the same lens in which she's looking at this situation as Janelle does. Also, I feel like once she had that interaction with Kody, like I said, where she's slipping and sliding around and giggling and stuff, she's still trying to stay in this man's good graces. And didn't she say in this episode, "Oh, I'm not part of them. I'm not part of the ex-wives clubs or Kody and Robin. I'm in the middle. I'm here. She's You're an ex-wife, Meri. This man has been on TV now for seasons, basically calling you the worst wife on planet Earth and that he should have never married you and he never loved you. Why there would be an in-between space in which you would exist, I'm very confused by. There is no in-between. I'm very confused by that. Hi, Kayla. Let me see. Hi, you guys. I'm just going to highlight you really quick so I know you're here. Hi, Valadia. Am I saying that right? Let me know. All right, Brittany, what you got to say? The need to start putting dates up on the screen, the timelines and her attitude make no sense. And we've seen Kody say to her face she doesn't deserve her fair share. You know what? And that might be it because they don't. Well, you know what, though? Take that back. She has no furniture in that house. So when she has this conversation with Janelle, this was after she was slipping and sliding on the ice with Kody. So she was basically fresh off her, I'm trying to stay in good graces with Kody moment when she met up with Janelle. And when we think about the whole family, with everybody going to run their mouth to everybody, nobody can hold a secret. Nobody can hold anything. And now Janelle, who was trying to like have her back, now she's like, I might have ended up screwing myself over by telling Meri to girl, stay in tune, like tap in. I might have messed up my own bag trying to help Meri out. And I'm wondering if we're going to see you guys in the next episode or two. Are we going to see this come up where Meri, in fact, does go to Kody and rats out Janelle on what she says? Or are we going to get what I would really love is we're going to get a meeting between Meri, Janelle, Kody, and Robin. And Cody's going to try to pull a fast one in that meeting. And it's going to wake Meri up. And when they leave that meeting, she going to go to Janelle and be like, you're right. Let's get a lawyer. I'm curious. Megan, I think at this point we're at early 2023. They said on the first episode this season was filmed in late 2022. Good to know. Good to know. So yeah, what do you guys think of that? I'm gonna start a poll. I'm gonna say my question's going to be. Give me a second. Let me mute this really fast. I'm gonna put a poll up. Okay, can you guys hear me? I'm going to start my poll. Can you guys put a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me, okay? I appreciate you. Okay, so I put my poll up. And it's, do you think Meri will figure out Kody is snaking her and team up with Janelle to get a lawyer? My internet looks a little fuzzy. Hopefully it'll clean up. My internet looks a little fuzzy. Hopefully it'll clear up soon. But yeah, let me know what you guys think on that poll. But that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that Meri, that they'll end up having like a meeting or something like that. And ultimately, what'll happen is Meri will start to see some of the writing on the wall, and she'll make some better decisions. Danny says, you would think since Janelle reached out and it's been over a year that Meri would have listened. And that was interesting to me too, is that I've seen people look at this two different ways. Okay, I've seen some people say, well, you know that Janelle is very responsible when it comes to money, and she was over the finances. So if she's coming to you in a panic, why would you not listen to her and take her advice? I've also seen other people say, if Janelle was so good with her money, why does it seem that she's the only one walking away with nothing? Why did she invest in that really expensive RV and it's just like sitting in a lot somewhere, like stored somewhere right now, and doesn't have a home? Why did she not make sure that her name was at least her name was on Robin's house when they bought Robin's house? And she let Kody talk her out of her being on that mortgage. Um, so little things like that, I understand why people think, well, Janelle actually probably isn't that responsible with money as she comes off to be, or maybe she is good with money, but she allows for Kody to manipulate her. It's almost like as soon as they were not in like an impoverished state, it's like Kody was basically telling her, like, take the handcuffs off of me when it comes to money. And this is also too what irritated me about Meri is Meri's like, oh, he would rob Peter to pay Paul. I'm like, Meri, y'all are not poor anymore. You guys are not living in poverty where you don't know where your next meal is from. And like McKelty said, y'all was eating three-day old stale bread. Like y'all are not there. So why would he need to do that in this instance? I think he was just investing in a lot of his like buddies' businesses that went totally tanked, or he was trying to hide assets away through buying these stupid paintings and jewelry and stuff, or he himself was trying to start these businesses that were not lucrative and were just sucking up money but not creating any income. Like there was no ROI. Was It's not that deep. Janelle is not emotionally smart. She doesn't see how manipulative Kody was until it was too late. Very that. And that's what I think it is. I feel like when they bought Robin's house, the logical person and Janelle said, "Hey, we need to be on this mortgage because this is like you guys are spending what $1 million into this home. This is taking up the almost all of our reserved assets to go in and buy this." The fact that she let that man emotionally manipulate her and bamboozle her into not being on that or not having signed documentation, making sure they still got their cut back. When I tell you women can be real stupid when it comes to men, this is an example of that. This is why everybody should just stay single. Okay? So you can keep your damn money because this is crazy. This is crazy that she's even in this situation, y'all. This is so crazy to me. Tamara Reigns. Hey, Tamara Reigns. He did so much. Meri should be the most mad, but she's not. She loved him from day one and still does. And that's it. It's like all of the emotional ties that they have to this man are making them be really irrational. And I think Christine was emotionally checked out from him. So she was able to be smart and rational when she made her get away. She's like, keep the land. Because I feel like Christine knew Kody was going to beat around the bush about paying off that land. And she was like, I do not want to have to come back and deal with this man and hassle him to death about getting this land paid off. We need to just cut the ties and move on. And she's so smart. The way she made it out, the way she talked to Kody about, oh, I'll just take this measly little equity and you can keep all the land. Like she painted it out to where he was getting over on her when he wasn't, but she painted it out that way. And that's how she was able to get away with this. Christine knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. Who is okay? Let me see. I'm gonna click on something else. What's Danny saying? Danny, Kody and Robin robbing everyone blind, and all Janelle sees is the money coming out of. And yes, because remember, Janelle says that she was basically the bookkeeper. I don't, but there's no receipts, right? There's no receipts for every single thing that they've bought. And I'm wondering too, at some point, Janelle was in charge of like that family bank account. I'm wondering if at some point Kody's like, well, I need to have control over that too. And then when she would see the money go out, he would say, hey, I had to invest in this, or I had to get a trailer, or I had to do this. I'm like, why does the kids in that house have dune buggies and four-wheelers and everything else, 15 vehicles outside the home, and now you can't afford to pay off this land? Like, make it make sense. All right, my girl Kayla, did you see Janelle's most recent interviews? I can't remember the name of the YouTuber, but it made me realize that she is more delusional than what I thought. Yeah, Kayla, you just missed it. We're talking about Heather McDonald. That's the interview I actually watched earlier today too, and she's very delusional. And I think it's because she really does, y'all, have religious indoctrination. Because in that interview, she says flat out she still believes in this faith. She has not strayed away. And you also haven't heard Meri say that either. Christine doesn't have the same religious indoctrination impacting her decision making the way these two do. These two, in my opinion, still have a lot of religious indoctrination when it comes to some of the decision making. It's interesting. And you guys, one of our new like YouTubers, they do TikTok and YouTube. I know you guys know their names, but they're not a polygamous couple. But the woman, her dad's the prophet now for the AUB. It's her and her husband. They both were in the AUB at one point. They're no longer in it. She was married to somebody from the AUB, but she never did polygamy, but she knows like the whole family. So they've been watching the show and doing lives, which you guys, if somebody can find them and put them in the chat, they have been doing these lives and talking about a lot of the back end stuff, which to me is fantastic. And I'm sorry, I like to see people that went through this religious trauma and that this is their stories. I like to see them benefit and profit from this space beyond some of these reviewers who shall remain nameless that have been profiting an exorbitant amount of money, and I have yet to see any type of fund to try to help people get out of polygamy coming from them. There is only like one really big one, and it's the couple that put together like funding and donations to help out polygamous communities. And I'm just saying, if you're making all this money off this stuff, the least you can do is give back to the communities that you are benefiting from. But yeah, I've been loving watching their lives because they have been spilling all the tea on what's been going on. And they are fantastic. I'm loving them. Yes, Notes 444. That's exactly who it is, Danny. Oh, those are my girls, reality TV cringe. Hey, y'all. Good to see you guys. Miss you. I love them. Check out their page. Make sure, maybe, who's in here? Who's a mod? Kayla, can you put reality TV cringes YouTube channel in here just in case other people haven't seen them? My favorite comic relief. But yeah, if you guys check out Notes to Self 444, very that. Giving all the tea. But I think they speak a lot to the religious indoctrination that we're seeing from Janelle and Meri. And that interview with Janelle, in my opinion, spoke specifically to that. But watching Meri, so when she goes to the party, to Gwen's party, which I did say her and Gwen have something special, and I kind of love that for her and Gwen. I think they're both kind of quirky, and I think they kind of just get each other, and I love that. But it almost tarnished a little bit that great moment between her and Christine, right? Where they give each other a hug. It really seemed like they were connecting in that moment. Like, hey, girl, are you happy? Are you moving in the right direction? Is everything going good? I just really love that moment. But seeing Meri be not a girl's girl when it came to Janelle, to the point where Janelle's like, oh, great, you're going to go run and tell Kody this, that just really pissed me off. Okay, Danny, yes, I did watch Maddie's podcast. I actually just watched the one on boundaries yesterday. And I like that. I think they're trying to get their flow of how they want to run their podcast, because right now it seems a little bit more like stream of consciousness with them, which that's how it typically is when you're first starting a podcast. So I think they're going to get a little bit more structured, which is going to be fantastic, because I think she has a lot to say, and I'm here for it. Um, I'm really excited. And Maddie was always the one that was going to tell you like it is, and I'm ready. And I like that she was kind of talking about boundaries, which for me, you guys, I talk about family boundaries all the time, establishing those things. And I really love that she spoke to that when it came to her father, and how he treated her, how if she had an opinion, he would basically cut her off, didn't want to hear her opinion, didn't care what she said if it didn't agree with him. And you guys remember back, like, in the first few seasons, when Maddie decided that she wanted to go to like a church group, and it was outside of like the AUB church, and Robin was basically treating her like a dummy and saying, your frontal lobe's not developed enough for you to decide this. It's like she's not deciding if she wants to be a parent or not right now. She's saying, I would prefer to be involved with this church group. I like those people. I'd like to be involved with that. That's something I want to do. She acted like the girl said, if I want to jump off this cliff right now. So from the beginning, was it that Robin was, I don't know, more conservative than the rest of them, or was she just trying to insert herself? I don't know, but I thought it was a pretty decent episode on boundaries. So if you haven't seen Maddie's podcast, you definitely should tune in, because she's spilling a little bit of tea in there. Hi, Share Bear. Let me go back up here. I need to see what you guys are saying. Okay, good. You put my girl reality TV in there. Love them. Love you, girls. Thanks for stopping by. Do I think she'll have any siblings as special guests? I for sure know McKelty will be on there if she wants her on there. McKelty cannot wait to be in a spotlight. She's not turning down a spotlight for no one. She will not. Do we think TLC and Kody will make them shut it down? They seem to have impacted some of the others. Yeah, and I'm not on Gwen's anymore, so you guys have to let me know if Gwen is still doing the reviews or not. I know Peyton seemed like he wasn't running his mouth as much. I think what it is maybe some of the future things, but I'm like, those kids aren't under contract though. So if I was TLC, I really wouldn't fool with these older kids, because I'm pretty sure they have some secrets and some things they know that they could really air out TLC for. And I just don't think TLC wants that smoke. I just don't think they should do that. All right, TV Crunch. Robin didn't want Maddie to go to a different youth group, but now Aurora and Brianna go to an Assemblies of God church. Make it make sense. Yes, and I heard that too. And that's like a really conservative group. And I guess they said that Kody and all of them have like switched over to that. They're like in this conservative Christian group now, and not in like the AUB church. But I don't know how they could be in the AUB, because our friends from Notes to Self, her daddy's the prophet, and he basically gave Meri the release. She said she knows for a fact if Janelle came, Janelle could get a release too. He's looked at as a failure in that community. So why would he want to go back to that anyway? He's a failure. And I know Robin, she was trying to be top dog wife. So there's no way she'd go back to a church where she's with a man that's considered to be a failure. No way. Because speaking of Maddie, I need her to be less vague on her new podcast. Respectfully, this family talks in circles. They absolutely do talk in circles. And it's like they don't want to hurt feelings, but I think for all of us, we're like 9 times out of 10, we know who you're talking about. So just kind of say it with your whole chest at this point. You guys have been on TV since you were kids. Like, we know. Okay, Gwen's not doing Patreon anymore. Peyton said he'd spill all the tea when the show finally ends. I mean, that's never going to happen. You guys, we'll be on YouTube talking about this show 10 years from now. The grandkids will be having kids. Dear God, I hope that's not true. I really hope that I'm not talking about this show 10 years later. That's so crazy. Hey, Cherry Bear, Mary's so blind to Kody, she probably is still hoping they get back together. You guys, and I wouldn't be, I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked. I feel like she'd still take him back. Even now, like, she's really funny online. Like, I don't know if you guys follow her on Instagram and stuff. She's highly entertaining, like a really good time. But she, like I said, it's that religious indoctrination. And I absolutely feel like she would just get back with Kody if he came to her and say, I was lying. I actually did love you. You know, I feel like she would, sadly. Okay, let's see the results of this poll, y'all. What did it say? Do you think Meri will figure out Kody is sneaking her and team up with Janelle to get a lawyer? 72% of you guys said no. Oh, only 27% said yes. So basically, y'all are saying, yeah, Meri is not going to get a clue, and she's going to let Kody manipulate her. Got it. Okay, y'all. Brittany, not Brittany. I think Robin portrayed herself to be a bestie big sis role when she was dating Kody, then came in and started throwing her weight around when she literally just got there. That's how I feel too. And if you go back, this whole thing about him calling her shy, right? He keeps saying this like multiple episodes. She's so shy. When you go back to those first few episodes, wasn't she the one like dancing in the aisleways when they went out? She's doing the performances with Christine and Meri when the kids were graduating. She's not shy. I'm sorry. I have never seen her be shy, y'all, at any point. So I don't know if he's equating shyness to her ratting out her sister wives and telling it and running back to him and saying everything they said and then trying to act agreeable with them, knowing full well that Kody's going to try to come to her rescue like a knight in shining armor. I don't know if that's what shy means. I don't know why he all of a sudden started saying that she's shy in these last few years where he's been like stuck in this manosphere. I don't know where that came from. It's very weird. I think Kody joined the girls' born again church because any Mormon church wouldn't have him for. I don't think they would have him either. Because I was like, wasn't he excommunicated when he decided to join the AUB? Don't they excommunicate you? I have a better chance of getting into the Mormon church than he does. I mean, that's real. What up, Peekaboo? I heard the TLC forced Gwen to sign an NDA before she could go to her own engagement party. And that's probably why she's mad about it. And that was really disappointing because they didn't, you guys, that was supposed to be about her, I guess. But there wasn't one interview with her. But I'm wondering if after the fact, when Gwen realized that they really weren't that interested in her story and her engagement and everything, that she just refused to do the sit down confessionals, the talking heads. I feel like maybe that's what happened. Because I was like, why isn't there one interview with Gwen? And it's her engagement party. That was odd to me. Janelle threw some shade at Kody by saying he failed. Listen, but he did fail. He did fail. How do you lose 3 wives? He failed, y'all. Gayla, in Janelle's new interview, she said the intimacy wasn't the problem in her marriage, but Christine mentions that Kody wasn't at Janelle's house either. Yeah, she did say that. And I'm like, is that Janelle's ego talking? And what does intimacy mean to her? Does it mean that the one time he sees you every other month that you guys cuddle up a little bit, or like, y'all do the, SEX really quick, and then that means you've got an intimacy? Because he really was not seeing her. And even and I think that maybe is what makes Janelle's kids so upset, is it's like she is rewriting the history too. She's rewriting the history to make it seem as though this man was also more significantly invested in her family than he actually was. He wasn't there either. He wasn't at her house either, because all her kids were saying the time was not equitable. So if he was really at her house in an equitable way at all, her kids would have said that. And the kids were mad because even when they were gone, he was not spending enough time with her. And she just kept making excuses. She says things like, I like being independent. Independent doesn't mean that this man doesn't get to come to your house. That's not what that means. That's not at all what that means. What Lisa's saying, don't clutch pearls. But I think that Janelle also will go back to Kody if the kids would make up with him. I'm now using talk to text. Oh, you're fine, Lisa. I know what you're trying to say. You know what? I don't think it's out of the possibility, out of the realm of possibility that Meri would go back. I struggle with Janelle mainly now because she bought that property in North Carolina. So unless Kody wanted to uproot with Robin and move to North Carolina, she might be okay with him building on those acres because they have quite a few acres. But I don't foresee Janelle getting back with him because of that. I think once she made that decision to move so far away and buy all that land, she was done with him. Janelle's far too apathetic. She always accepts less factual, and that's what gets on my nerves when I'm watching these episodes. It's like there's times where she's calling him out, but she won't follow all the way through with it. Do you know what I'm saying? She'll do a little bit. Even the last episode where she's finally calling him out, saying that he's self-absorbed, that he's worried about himself, but then she'll come back, try to do something nice, or try to give him an excuse or a pardon. And I'm like, Janelle, just stop. Just stop. The man has not prioritized you or your children. I'm sorry, but when you look at the situation with Garrison, is that all about, you can't put all that blame on a parent, right? You can't. But we all saw the episodes with Garrison prior to him, taking his life. We saw those episodes. We saw his reaction to that. The fact that he in those clips, he was basically saying, we don't even need a father figure anymore. If those should have been loud alarm bells going off in their heads when they heard that. Especially for these young men that looked up to their dad so much, loved being around their dad so much, the alarm bells should have been going off. But because Janelle is so used to getting less and just accepting less, I don't think she really understood how getting less for her children, how that would impact them differently. And also feeling like your father literally replaced you with new kids. Like he replaced them. That's a different type of pain. I don't know what that pain feels like. Like me and my dad and my mom, we're all very close. I cannot imagine what it feels like to feel like your dad let this new woman come in and replace you and your mom with a new family. Oh my God. Janelle from the beginning wasn't into affection or romance. She's a get it done, and maybe he wasn't as good as he tries to come off, so she wanted just to get it done, and it wasn't enjoyable. That would suck. I mean, she said she liked his pecs. I'm not trying to picture it in my head what's going on with those two, but oh God. Sometimes my brain gets the best of me and I get like flashing images of what it would be, and I wish I could never see it. I wish I could take it back. Do we really need to hear Kody Brown mansplaining Gwen's homosexuality as opposed to hearing about it from Gwen herself? And that's what I'm saying. Like, why were there no interviews with Gwen and B? Like, where were their interviews at? When we saw the weddings with Maddie's wedding, McKelty's wedding, Aspen, we got to hear from them. Like when they were courting and they were dating, we got to hear about it from them. That's what pissed me off. It's like, don't even show it at all then. And that's what lets me know this wasn't about Gwen at all. It was only about getting on camera, Kody meeting David. I don't think they were even planning on filming during Gwen's party because at first Kody was not going to come. And I don't know if Kody was like, oh, I'm trying to get a check. I'm definitely going to come so we can get this scene shot, and just said, forget it, totally disregard. I feel like Gwen had to sign off for that to happen, right? And she thought maybe in the process that the producers would do her a solid and still make it about her, and they did the complete opposite. It was all about Kody and David and Christine and them meeting, and Robin. And also, too, when Kody was talking about Gwen and he goes, God told me your job is to love. That part I loved. But why are we saying that God is judging? Isn't God supposed to be loved too? That was just really odd to me. And it was basically saying like, I still don't think it's right, but I'm going to show up. Like, we didn't need that extra. We did not. It was just a mess. That was such a mess. Blackstone, she hasn't said he was there at all since Robin joined, and I suspect not a lot even before. Look, I mean, I think when we're watching the seasons back, the only reason why he was even at Janelle's house really was because he was like obsessed with his boys and wanted to like see the boys, hang out with the boys, because they looked at him as like this hero figure. You remember Christine put that wrestling gym in her garage just because Kody promised he'd come over there more if she did that. I'm just saying. Just interesting to me. And then when the boys didn't look at to him like as the hero anymore, he really cut off Janelle, because then he just in this in the episode before, he said the only reason why he was trying to rekindle with Janelle was to get close to his sons. It's a lie, and he thinks his sons are stupid enough to not realize that. It's crazy. Janelle seems like the man in that relationship, and she just needs Kody for sex and to be there for her kid. That's really the energy it's giving. I'm not that mad either. Low key. Danny, it seemed from this episode that David and Christine have been living together and having relations. Christine's free because she's finally enjoying herself in bed. Kody comes off as a selfish lover. I guarantee that's very accurate. Also, yeah, and that's what some people, we've been asking that too. It's like, you came from a really religious background. You guys like beat that over the heads of your kids, right? Abstinence and chastity and so on and so forth. I have not heard Christine speak to that at all. Like, so now all of a sudden it's okay to have a man move in before you're married. Like, when did that, like, when did the change happen? It's one thing to not believe in the AUB, right? It's totally different to really abandon a bulk of the morals and values that you held that were connected to that. Not connected to that, but just some of the morals and values you had that are not just AUB related. They're just conservative related. Like, a lot of the conservative values that she held, she kind of just threw out the window. And I'm kind of curious, what's the story behind that? Why she decided to kind of just abandon conservatism? Like, what is that? I'm kind of curious. What's Tamara Reigns talking about? That intimacy thing. Think about it. If you're getting, okay, you know what, from a guy your bestie did not like, would you not lie about sneaking or a sneaky link to your friend? She just forgot to lie to audience as well. Possibly. That could be it too. But you know what though, even though, I guess if you're talking about Christine, even though Christine doesn't really care for Kody, what she was saying to Janelle really felt like, okay, so are you guys going to work? Like, she didn't seem like she was promoting Janelle to leave until it was pretty clear as day that Kody was abandoning her too. In which case, you kind of saw Christine pushed into overdrive and say, girl, you need to leave him. Like, you need to let him go. Like, so I can't wrap my head around three things. How these women think he had a work ethic, that he was a catch and lusting for that creepy clown. Ew, pickings must be low. Y'all, but back during that time period, Kody was coming fresh off a mission, very handsome. When you see the videos and photos of him, Kody was an incredibly handsome guy. He seemed very joyful and jovial and happy. And remember, he didn't grow up in the AUB. So I think he probably had a different outlook too on how he saw women, which I thought was also probably attractive to them. He came in there after the fact because his dad came in. So I think back then it was probably a little bit different. Kayla, I hate to that they all downplay the divorce between Meri and Kody was clearly strategic for a long term for Kody and Robin. There's clearly a motive involving money. That's how I feel too, guys. And that's why I wanted to talk about that too on this live, because that when Meri talked about the legal divorce and how she says, I was hoping it wouldn't change things. And then she says, and in fact it did. And then it's interesting when Janelle did that interview with Heather McDonald, she said she doesn't say that it changed it. She tries to act like it didn't change anything, but it did. Maybe it didn't change as much for stuff between Janelle and Kody, but it absolutely changed things for Meri. And I think that's why he was able to talk about her like a dog after, because she had no legal anything over him anymore. And even when it came to the assets and everything, now that he was married to Robin, everything was going in her name. I'm sure that's why they all got the different LLCs too, because it was looking real suspicious. I just want them. I'm curious from this lawsuit that Christine did involving Truly and back child support and stuff. Are they going to just do a full? They're going to do a forensic accounting. They need to hire a forensic accountant to dig through everything. Or they need to have an appraisal system come in and appraise all this mess in Kody's house. And now they just bought a $2 million house. I'm like, so you're buying a $2 million home and not paying child support? I'm still irritated that Janelle never filed for child support for Savannah. Because there were years where he was not taking care of Savannah, y'all. Like, Janelle was taking care of all of her expenses. When they moved to Flagstaff, those women were paying all their expenses. Like, that's why Christine said, just give me all the equity. I'm the only one paying this mortgage. This man's not paying the mortgage. His name might be on it, but he's not paying the mortgage here. So we know that he probably wasn't doing that for Janelle either. Danny, look at what Kody said about Ariel's being his fave and more. Okay, y'all, when he said that about dang on Ariella talking about, well, I have a 7-year-old and I think she's pretty great. I was like, who are you trying to convince that you're a good parent? It must be Robin. And if I were his kids, the other kids watching this back and seeing him say that, it would just solidify for me why I was going no contact with him. It would just solidify it for me. It was crazy. What you guys saying? Christine was a cheerleader for polygamy and now she's okay with fornication. Now it's okay to drink. At least explain your process so we can understand. That's what I'm saying. It's like, girl, weren't you on the legal committee? Like, when did the turn happen? When did the turn happen? Did you move to Utah and you just became a totally different person? Or I don't know. I just found that to be odd. I think Christine was so close to the top leaders, she saw the smoke and mirrors and saw with BS. Yeah, and I feel like it's okay for her. Like, once she decided not to be part of the AUB anymore, that made perfect sense to me, right? But I'm the whole leaving behind all the other conservative values that really have nothing to do with you being an AUB. Conservative values are they're just that. So I just found that to be interesting. Oh, I don't know who's trying to call me, but decline. Thanks. ATKC. Okay, hit little red in chat. How are you? Just checking. I know I've missed a lot. Wanted to check in, show love. Oh, thank you. Thanks for loving my glasses and my lipstick. Of course, it's MVP by Fenty Beauty. That's what I'm wearing today. I feel like his energy was always feminine, though. His father alluded to that. He didn't have a masculine bone in his body. Yeah, because y'all know, some people are saying that they think maybe he preferred men, and that's okay. And a lot of these religious groups, sometimes that's what it is, and you suppress things and you marry the women because that's what you're supposed to do. And then fast forward now, I feel like I don't know if he's on testosterone, y'all, or what, but he's like fell into this red pill movement too. And it's just made him hyper aggressive. It's like he's trying to prove his manhood all the time, and I don't know what that energy is. I'm like, can we have the goofy, funny one from season 1 back? That guy was way better. They're in custody court, which includes discovery. They're going to know his income plus his blood type. I heard that, though. Yeah, so I know, too, Danny brought this up about Meri being persuaded, but I would say this, too. I never understood why they needed to adopt those kids, and I want to know if they bullied the father, or I need more background information on that. I still feel like we haven't gotten really good background info on how that whole process went down. It feels very cult-like to me. It's giving cult. So yeah, I got about 5 minutes, you guys, because I have to meet up with somebody, but I wanted to get on here for at least an hour and spend some time with you guys in chat, because baby, Meri was so disappointing to me. Y'all, I'm still so disappointed in Meri and how she responded to Janelle. And then she had the audacity to tell Janelle, "Oh, well, do you have my back?" What, girl? If she didn't have your back, why is she here telling you you need to be paying better attention? You need to pay closer attention to what's going on. That, like, literally, that was the whole point. Janelle didn't have to stop at your house. Janelle could have kept it pushing, but she wanted to make sure you knew what was going on and you didn't get taken advantage of. Preston, that's the dad's name. And I bet you the only reason Preston hasn't come out is either they cut him a check, which I don't believe they did, but I feel like the only reason maybe he hasn't said anything is he's respecting his children. Despite what happened, I just don't believe he wants his kids' business out there. He's like, I'd rather take the hit than my kids have to deal with that. I just have a feeling. I just have a feeling about that. We also haven't seen Dayton on the show in a very long time. And I'm not shocked he doesn't. And I'm wondering too if Kody's energy to him is different now that he's a grown man, as opposed to him being a kid. I wonder if he doesn't have any patience at all for him as an adult. Yes, Kayla, thank you for letting everyone hit the like button. Thank you guys for showing up. Like, we had at some points like 80 plus in the room, and that's like awesome. When I took a break from doing this, like, I have to do it sporadically, y'all, because I'll tell you right now, I will get burnt. I will get burnt doing this, and I don't want to be burnt. I just want to, like, come watch the show, y'all, have a chat with y'all. Me and reality TV, reality TV cringe, we're gonna get, because it was fun. We're gonna figure it out, us two. We need to either do it for the finale, we need to figure it out sometime, like maybe the week after one of the finales or something. We need to jump on a live and just connect both our channels so people can watch from both channels, and do a live and talk about it, because this is a mess. This is a mess, y'all. I think that'd be fun if we did that. You guys are letting know. Thank you, Anne. Yeah, sorry, girl. I did an hour today. I'm back to Salt Lake on Monday. Salt Lake's so pretty now, though. I'm kind of excited to go back and see all the Christmas lights up in Salt Lake City. It is stunning there. Salt Lake City knows how to do winter. Like, if you've never been to Utah before, or you've never been to Salt Lake City, go there, go downtown where the mall is at. Oh my God, all the lights and everything. The last time I was there, it was actually snowing outside. It was a literal winter wonderland. I think Salt Lake City is one of the prettiest places to go during the winter. And the mountains are like right on top of you. I love it so much. It's beautiful. Thank you, Michelle. We're about to be done, but I'm glad you at least got to say hey. We'll try again though next week. Hopefully, maybe I'll have some time during one of my evenings, and I'll put the message out so you guys can add it, and we'll try to get back on again to chat live next week so we can talk about next week's episode together. So I'll do my video, but I love talking with y'all like this. But thank you so much for joining, you guys. Hit the like. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed and you're new here, it's a good time over here. You should definitely hit subscribe so you can come back. Also, the Red Lipstick Club in the comments is the greatest of all time, and they're so much fun to chat with, especially in the comments. So if you like that vibe, come back. We respect each other. We have a good time here. Until next time, you guys, it's been real. I'll talk to you later. Have a good night, y'all. Bye.